Hyundai is aiming to compete with the Tesla Model 3 with its latest EV model, a sedan called the Ioniq 6. This four-door fits into the company's Ioniq sub-brand made up of electric vehicles and shares components with the taller and boxier Ioniq 5. This means single and dual motor configurations will be offered, with two battery pack options. In combination with the aerodynamic shape, the 77.4 kWh battery pack, only the base model has the smaller 53.0 kWh pack, means the 6 will provide an estimated 361 miles of max driving range in its longest-range SE long-range configuration. Its styling is inspired by Hyundai's dramatic prophecy concept, and the Ioniq 6 is as quick as it is futuristic and stylish. It also offers a more luxurious interior than the Model 3 and features more onboard technology when compared with Hyundai's gas-powered Sonata and Elantra sedans. The Ioniq 6 is a new addition to the lineup. It will slot in numerically in between the Ioniq 5 and the upcoming Ioniq 7, but is a sedan with a more low-slung profile than those taller crossovers. The Ioniq 6 is slightly cheaper than the Ioniq 5, with the sedan starting at $42,715 for the base SE standard range with the smaller battery. Its powertrain lineup is similar, too, as it offers two battery pack options and either a rear-wheel drive single-motor setup or an optional dual-motor all-wheel drive version that costs $3,500 extra. We think the SE Long Range offers the best value, as it has the longest range estimate of any model and more horsepower than the base standard range car. The Cell and limited trim levels come only with a bigger battery pack. The Ioniq 6 shares a platform with the Ioniq 5, its powertrain mostly mirrors that model's offerings. The base model makes 149 horsepower and has a single electric motor powering the rear wheels. Single-motor cars equipped with the long-range battery pack have 225 horsepower. The more expensive 320 horsepower dual-motor versions provide all-wheel drive thanks to front and rear electric motors and come only with a bigger battery. Hyundai claims the more powerful setup can propel the Ioniq 6 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.1 seconds. Based on our first test drive, we think Hyundai's estimate is conservative and expect a quicker result once we get an Ioniq 6 into our office for testing. While the Ioniq 6's ride is smooth and its cabin is well isolated and quiet, its handling is still plenty engaging. Its low center of gravity gives it a planted feel in corners and steering wheel paddles allow the driver to select different modes of regenerative braking on the fly. The EPA estimates the Ioniq 6 has a maximum driving range of 361 miles. The Ioniq 6 SERWD Long Range, which has the most range for the model, gives it a 58-mile advantage over the smaller Ioniq 5. The all-wheel drive Ioniq 6 Limited is rated at 270 miles, which is still an impressive showing for the shortest driving Ioniq 6. Once we get our hands on an Ioniq 6, we'll run it through our 75-mile-per-hour real-world highway range test and update this story with its results. Hyundai has emphasized lounge-like comfort in its Ioniq models so far, and the 6 is no exception. The cabin shows a similarly modern and minimalist aesthetic as the Ioniq 5 and its flat floor aids the feeling of spaciousness inside. As a conventional four-door sedan, it offers space for 5 across 2 rows of seating. Hyundai has gone to great lengths to ensure a quiet cabin, with several layers of sound-deadening material sandwiched between the floor and the carpeting. The cargo area inside the trunk may not rival that of a hatchback or crossover, but the rear seats fold to expand the space back there.